Guys, you guys will receive the credentials as soon as possible. Guys, you will receive the Smart Influence credentials, so don't worry, guys. It will be coming in the email box. Okay, please don't worry about it, and don't worry, guys, if you didn't receive any credentials from the Smart Influence. So just please, please drop a message in Telegram. Apur, so just drop a message in Telegram, no, so that operations team will take care of it. Okay. Yes, I also seen that there is an problem with enrolling the project, so I will talk with our mentor. So don't worry. Okay.
Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon. Hello. Good afternoon, guys. Is my voice audible? Can I get a quick confirmation? Is my voice audible? Can anyone reply? Yeah. Okay. Okay, guys. People who have not yet received the not interns credentials, you will be getting them. And if you have any issues regarding the portal or the courses you have to complete, please drop a message in the Telegram group. I have shared this message in Telegram group on Saturday, but I haven't received any reply. Okay, I'm sorry about that upload. It will be, you will be getting a solution for your problem. Don't worry. Yeah, you will be receiving your credentials. So no need to worry. You will be soon getting mails, I think. Raju, please drop a message in the Telegram group. Your issue will be resolved. Don't need to worry. Mandeep Singh, well, right. Any issues regarding the your credentials not working or any issues with the courses, please drop a message in the Telegram group. Can anyone send me okay? Thank you. Is it clear now? Are you hearing any disturbance? Is it clear now? Okay. Mandeep Singh, I did not understand your query. What email are you asking about? With Raju, I have shared the Telegram group link. Um, Mandeep Singh, you can drop your issue in the Telegram group. I got credentials for other mail account, but I was active in my personal emailing skill. Labs using personal accounts. Give the URL for so, uh, Rijesh, AG, you can drop your issue in the Telegram group. I think someone must have told you, right? You have to use a single email ID for everything related to the project. You should not be using multiple email IDs. The issue you are facing is related to that. Can anyone reply? Is my screen visible? Can you see the PPT? I think in the previous classes you were taught about phase one and phase two of your documents, project documents. And receive. So, okay. Labs of intermediate and advanced course not working. We tried twice and lost 10 credits. Still facing the same issue. Can you please tell something? This okay. Monica, as I have told you, right, you can drop your issue in the Telegram group. It will be someone will get in touch or message you back in the group. Okay. I think everyone have understood the phase one and phase two. I will be going through phase three and phase four now. Yeah. Okay. So in today's class we will be talking about phase three and phase four. Is my screen visible, or do you want to do you guys want full screen, or is it okay? Is this fine? Or else I think I can zoom. Okay. Phase three is project design phase, and phase four is project planning phase. In phase three, you need to create three documents, which are solution fit, proposed solution, and solution architecture. You have to create three documents with the titles problem, solution fit, proposed solution, solution architecture. In each of the document, these three you have to complete before you these three you have to complete during the submission of your project. In problem solution fit, Varad, luck. I haven't received credentials for smart interns. Varad, no need to worry. The operation team is working on it. Everyone will receive the credentials. Okay, so guys, in the problem solution, you should have a problem solution fit, a product market fit, a business model market fit. These are the three different kinds of problem fits. It should contain the details from the idea to establishing the business model or market fit. What is problem solution fit? The problem solution fit simply means that you have found a problem where with your customer, and that the solution you realize for it actually solves the customer problem. It helps entrepreneurs, marketers, and corporate innovators identify behavior pattern and recognize what would work and why. So this basically means you have to make a solution which fits the problem you're solving. It should help entrepreneurs, marketers, or anyone who is working on the problem to resolve it. Yeah, the problem solution fit should look like this. Who is your customer? If you're a if you're selling a product and it is related to sports, then your customer might be someone who goes to a gym, someone who works out, something like that. According to your project, you have to understand who is your customer. Explore limitations to buy use your product or service. What are the limitations for your product? Okay, let's go with an example of a uh, okay, let's say our we are making a we are trying to sell a protein powder. So our customer will be a person who goes to a gym, or a person who is into fitness. And the limitations for the product will be the amount of the content he takes per day, something like that. According to the project you are working on, it should your limitations should of your product or service should be different. How are you going to differentiate than the competitors? If you I think you guys are seeing ads related to Amul ice creams, right? The in the recent days, you can see ice creams and dairy products which contain protein. I think it's a differentiated in the ice cream market and dairy market. Just like that, you have to know how are you different from others in the market. Focus on frequent, costly, or urgent problem to solve. When you're trying to solve a problem, you should you should focus on the things uh, which should be solved immediately, which are the most priority. Understand the cause of the problem. You should know what is the core of the problem. You should understand the problem such in a way that uh, you can make a solution which can deal with the cause which is producing the problem. Tap into reasonable and or support existing behavior. You should, when you're trying to solve a problem with your product or a service, you should understand the market. You should understand the behavior of the market, how the product or service might help. If you understand the behavior of your customer and make the behavior connection connect to your product or service, it will be it. Design triggers that fit real life, spark association, make it familiar, add emotions, strong for stronger message. This is all related to marketing and things. You should make the product seem familiar or make it attractive to the customer, so that in so that the customer chooses your product from all the products or services which are already available in the market. You are down to a solution guess. Be where your customers are. Yeah, okay. This means that you have to be available at the locations of your customer. If you are, as I said, as I have taken an example of a fitness freak or fitness person who is into fitness. If you are trying to sell a protein powder, yeah, where is the optimal place to sell the protein product? It will be near the gym. You should know where your customer are. Okay, so that's what goes into the what is your problem solution fit. Next, problem solution fit canvas. Customer state fit to make sure you understand your target group, their limitations, and their current available solution against which you're going to compete. These are different kinds of fits: customer state fit, problem behavior fit, communication channel fit. Solution. To make sure you understand your target, their limitation, and their currently available solutions against which you are going to compete. If you're if we take the same example as a protein product, it can be something. Is it a really expensive one, or is it a cheap one, or is it has some special ingredient in it which might attract certain kind of customers? You should know the state of your customer and your target customers, so that you can create your product according to the customer you are targeting. Problem behavior fit to help you fill your filter out the noise and identify the most urgent, frequent problems, understand the real problems behind them, and see which behavior supports it. Is this behavior weak or infrequent? Is it a solution worth solving? You should know. You should know what your problem is actually trying to solve. You should know what is the thing, the most urgent thing, the most frequent problem, which is the most urgent and frequently occurring problem in what which you are trying to solve. Communication channel fit to help you sharpen your communications with strong trigger emotions, message, and reaching customers via right channels. to help you sharpen your communication with strong trigger emotions message, and this is related to the marketing thing. You should know how to attract your customer. You should make triggers, ads or advertisements such a way that your customer gets connected to your problem or something. Solution, yes. Translate all the validated data you have gathered into a solution that fits the customer state and his or her limitations. Solve a real problem and tap into the customer behavior of your target group. This is the optimal solution which you have to provide. You should like with all the data which you have gathered related to the problem or the customer you have targeting. You have to take a solution. Yes. Uh, that's it for problem solution bit. The next document which you will be or you should be working on is proposed solution. In phase three problem design phase, the first document you should be working on is problem solution fit. The next thing is proposed solution. Proposed solution. After doing a thorough investigation into the problem, you would have a strong grasp of how the problem occurred. Thus, you need to propose a particular solution or suggest several ways to understand this issue. Uh, with the understanding of the before stage, that is the what is problem, you have to provide a solution to the problem. After going through all the details which you are related to your project and your customer, your target customer and the product or service you are going to create, you should create a proposed solution. The the proposed solution should resolve the problem, have the idea. It should be unique. It should satisfy the customers. It should be financially benefit. It should be a business model where you're financially benefited, and the solution should be scalable. And the next thing in the design phase is solution architecture. I hope you guys understand the what you have to do in the proposal solution. The next thing is solution architecture. Solution architecture nothing means you have to provide a what do you understand by architecture? Architecture is something like it is a design. So you have to make a design for your solution. Solution architecture is a practice to provide ground for software development projects by tailoring IT solutions to specific business needs and defining their functional requirements and stages of implementation. Using a minimum viable architecture strategy is an effective way to bring a solution product to market faster with lower cost. But what exactly do we mean by minimum viable architecture? In simple terms, creating a minimum viable architecture involves the following steps. Initially, designing enough architecture to exactly meet the known quality attribute requirements of a software system in order to quickly create a system viable enough to be used in production. Then the minimum viable architecture can be continuously augmented to meet the additional requirements or requirement changes as they are defined over time. Keeping the architecture design flexible is essential, and leveraging principle is an excellent way to accomplish this objective. So in solution architecture, you will be creating uh, a strategy is a strategy which will effectively bring a solution product to market with lower cost, which basically means minimum viable architecture. Minimum viable architecture or product. The most important aspect of this type of architecture are architecture not built for the least likely worst case scenarios. Instead, the product will be built by keeping in mind the most likely scenario. This means that you're creating the architecture for the most likely scenario. You will not be considering the worst case scenario, least likely worst case scenario. You will be suppose if we take the example of the uh, protein powder, the least likely worst case scenario will be overdose. You will not be thinking about the overdosing, a person overdosing himself with the protein powder, uh, which will be the least likely worst case scenario. You will be focusing on the most likely scenario, which is the person takes the product with a what do you say, regulated amount and get the most benefit from it. You will build a product such a way that you will keep in your mind that the most likely scenario, not the least likely worst case scenarios, like a person overdosing himself. Built in small increments over a period of time. For this product to work out smoothly, the programming language and the major technologies must be already evaluated, and the minimum viable architecture does not mean that we change the programming language or major technologies midway in the development cycle. Uh, this statement means you will be making small incremental changes over a period of time, but you will be you but the changes you will be making might should not be so huge, like changing the programming language you are going to use, changing the technology, changing the any if we come back to the protein powder example, we cannot change the main ingredients like whey powder from the protein powder, something like that. In it depends on the project you're working and the technology you're using. You will be making small incremental changes over the period of time, but you should not be making huge changes so that which will overturn your development life cycle. Based on concrete and at least reasonable requirements, not built on pure assumptions. You should never assume things when you are building your project or a service. You should always work on the concrete evidence you have. It should never be on pure assumptions. Okay, so that's it for the phase three project design phase. You have to create three documents: problem, solution, fit, where you have to define what is your problem and what is the exact what needs to be solved, which is which should be in detail explained in the proposed solution. You should also provide a solution architecture. You should provide a solution architecture for the problem which you are going to solve. That's it for the phase 3. Viraju, you're saying you haven't received the credentials regarding smart interns. No need to worry, Viraju, you will be receiving them. The operations team is working. Sir, I didn't receive any credentials. Yeah, okay, guys. People who have not yet received mails regarding your smart intense credentials, no need to panic or worry. You will be receiving them. It might take some time, but you will surely receive them. If you are facing any issues or anything like that, you can post them in the Telegram group. So till now we have discussed about project design phase. What the three documents you have to create in project design phase are problem, solution, fit, where you will be defining the problem, propose the solution, here you will be defining the solution you have come up with, and solution architecture. Solution architecture is nothing but how you are going to solve the problem. You have to provide the architecture for the problem, for the solution you are going to provide. Uh, The next phase is project planning phase. In project planning phase, we will be talking about sprints, activities, and things like that. I hope you guys have idea about it. I hope you guys heard about agile planning. Agile planning is nothing but you will be assigning you will what actually you are going to do what you are going to do is you will be dividing your problem into multiple smaller problems. Then the smaller problems will be solved after solving each and every small problem which you have divided. When you combine all those things, the major problem, that is the task you are going to solve, will be solved. Overwhelmingly, the world is going agile. I think that 71% of organizations have adopted agile planning methodology, and 60% of these companies increases profit after doing so. Agile planning is project management style with an incremental iterative approach instead of using in an in-depth plan from the start of the project, which is typically product related. Agile leaves room for required changes throughout and relies on constant feedback from end users. So what does this mean? Means this means you instead of starting a task and completing it, you the task will be divided into small parts, and you will be working on the task one after another. And after completion of a single task, you will be having a feedback, so that the end product works good. The end product is perfect. Over a defined period of time, cross-functional teams work on product iterations and achieving OKRs, objectives and key results. Organizing their work into backlogs that focus on delivering value. The ultimate goal of each iteration is to produce a working product. Different types of agile methodologies. Agile refers to methodologies and best practices for organizing projects based on the value and principles documented in Agile Manifesto. However, there is no one right way to implement Agile, and many different types of other methodologies from which to choose. Here are some of the most common Agile frameworks: Kanban, Scrum. Uh, Kanban Kanban methodology is something like Kanban methodology is something like a to do list with a progress status. And a simple visual means of managing project and product that enables team to see the progress. So for that, what's coming up next? Kanban projects are primarily managed through Kanban board, which segments tasks into three columns: to do, doing, and done. Kanban methodology is not basically is a list of things you have to do, and the things you have to do will be placed in these three categories: to do, in progress, done. If there is if you are going to start your project and you need to have data related to your project, suppose you need to collect the data, reprocess the data, then start building a model, then you will be testing the model, then deploying your model. If you take, these are the steps you need to complete so that you can say that your project is done. You will start with collecting the data. You will be adding it to the to-do list. List. You will be adding the tasks you have to complete in to-do list. If you have started the task, it should be moved into in progress. Once you finish the task, it will be moved into done. So the all the tasks which are running, if a single person does a project, it doesn't make sense to use this. But when you are a group of a team working on a single project, this makes a perfect sense. So that uh, like uh, like you can understand the progress of the tasks you have to do for the completion of the project. Project has 7 or 8 steps. It might get confusing to track progress of all the tasks to be for for the completion of the project. So if you guys use the Kanban method, it will be visually easy to understand and track the progress. The next method is Scrum. Scrum is similar to Kanban. I think people might have heard. If you have people you know are working in software industry, IT employees, then you might have heard about Scrum Master, things like that. Scrum is similar to Kanban in many ways. Scrum typically uses Scrum board similar to a Kanban board and groups tasks into columns based on progress. Unlike Kanban, Scrum focus on breaking a project down into sprints. and only planning and managing one sprint at a time. Scrum also has unique roles: Scrum Master and Product Owner. Scrum is similar to Kanban, but in Scrum, the task, the project will be divided into multiple sprints. A sprint is an activity which has to be completed for to move on to the next sprint. In Scrum, different roles are Scrum Master. Scrum Master is someone who manages the life cycles of agile sprints. Agile process Scrum framework. Agile focuses on keeping the progress lean and creating minimum viable products that go through several iterations before anything is final. Feedback is gathered and implemented continuously, and in all, it is a much more dynamic process where everyone is working together towards one goal. As I have told, right, a single task or a project will be divided into multiple sprints. Uh, the target of each sprint will be different, and feedback is meant for every sprint. There will be a feedback. Feedback will be gathered throughout the project, and it is implemented during the project. Vivek Singh, I think if you have completed the project before it, we don't need to attend the sessions. Uh, I'm not sure about it, Vivek Singh, but I think you should attend the sessions as we are taking attendance for you guys, and attendance is mandatory. Essential characteristics of an agile plan. Before using any planning method such as Kanban, Gantt charts, or Scrum, it is important to understand the basics. Here are four essential characteristics of agile you need to do. Uh, Here are the four essential characteristics of an agile planning. An agile project plan is divided into releases and sprints. Planning is based on user stories. Planning is iterative and incremental. Estimation is done by team members themselves. These are the four essential characteristics. Okay, the first characteristic is agile project plan is divided into releases and sprint. Agile planners define a release or creating a new project. Each release is broken down into several iterations, called sprints. Each sprint is fixed length, typically 2 weeks. And team has predefined list of things to work through each sprint. The work items are called user stories. So in Agile project plan, the releases or sprints are divided into User stories. Each sprint is typically of a 2 week sprint where the team or the person has a list of things to work through each sprint. The next essential characteristic is planning is based on user stories. As mentioned above, a user story is an item that creates the caters to users' needs. For example, as a team leader, I need to receive an email notification when a task is stuck or behind schedule. In agile planning, the team only documents what the user needs. The next essential is planning is iterative and incremental. All sprints are equal, and an agile team repeats the same process over and over in every sprint. Each sprint should result in working features that can be rolled out to end users. Estimation is done by team members themselves. A core thick of agile planning is that development team should participate in planning and estimation instead of management deciding on work scope. In this sprint stage, agile planning allows teams to define the complexity of user stories to carry out a plan. So these are the four characteristics of agile planning. Agile project or a branch is divided into releases and sprints. The planning should be based on the user stories. User stories are the work items which should be completed during the sprint. The based on the user story, the planning is made. The planning should always be iterative and incremental. That is that means only working features that can be rolled out to end users, so that we will take iterative feedback and increments. Estimation is done by team members. This essential characteristics means that only the development team should be making the should determine the timeline of the project. Agile scheduling process. Agile scheduling is a phase the most project managerial or project management activities. The following are some useful guidelines for managing schedules. Discuss the needed features to address the goals. What components would make the product even more user friendly? What are users missing? What would they like to see? Discuss the details. Involving each feature and factors that can influence delivery. This would include the infrastructure required, risk and external dependencies. Features with high risk and high value should be planned earlier in the release. Decide how much work you can commit to as a team in each sprint. This is usually based on team's velocity in previous sprints. We should take this into account existing work on infrastructure or tools and known interruptions such as support work. The stories and epics for the release of by their size. An epic is larger dev task broken down into several user stories. Add an iteration to the plan so teams know what they will work on for the following 1 or 2 weeks. Stories to iteration until it reaches maximum capacity. Add more iterations until all user stories are covered or remove over priorities user stories to the required timeframe for the release. Share the plan using agile methodology, software or of choice, and ask for feedback to get commitment from all team members, product owners, and stakeholders. Uh, these are the guidelines which should be followed using agile scheduling process. They are discuss the needed features. You need to know what are the features you will be implementing. Discuss the details. You need to know the details of the features. Decide how much work you need to exactly know how much work that needs to be done, how much time it will take. List the stories and epics. Add iterations. Add stories to iterations and more iterations. Share the plan. Sprint planning process. We have talked about agile scheduling process, and we will be talking about the sprint planning process. Here is how an agile team plans a new sprint as part of an existing release plan. Hold a retrospective meeting to discuss the previous sprints and lessons learned. Run a sprint planning meeting to analyze the release plan and update it according to velocity. Recent sprints changes to priorities, new features, or idle time that wasn't planned for in the release. Make sure user stories are detailed enough to work on. Elaborate on tasks that are not well defined to avoid surprises. Break down user stories into specific tasks. Keep the size of tasks small, no more than one workday. Assign tasks to team members and confirm that they are committed to performing them. The Agile or Scrum framework system by Scrum Master. Write the tasks on physical sticky cards and hang them up on large boards visible to entire team. All the user stories and constraints should be up on the board. Track the progress of all tasks on the grid by recording who is responsible for completing each task, estimated time to complete it, many hours, and actual hours used. This time tracking should be updated by all teams and visible to everyone. Track velocity using a burn-down chart. During the sprint, use the team's time tracking to calculate a chart showing the number of tasks hours remaining versus the plan. The scope of the burn-down chart showing we are on schedule ahead or behind. Story points and estimation. In Agile methodology, the project owner is tasked with prioritizing the backlog, the ordered list of work that contains short description of all desired features and fixes for a product. For product owner specifically, break down work items into granular pieces and estimates via story points. Give them prioritize or areas of work. And once they have estimates from the dev team, it's not uncommon for a product owner to pre-order items on the backlog. Story points are units of measure for expressing an estimate of the overall effort required to fully implement a product, backlog item, or other piece of work. Teams assign story points related to work complexity, element of work, the risk or uncertainty. Values are assigned to more effective break down work into small pieces so they can address uncertainty. Fibonacci numbers for story points. When the development team conducts an estimation, it is recommended to abandon the traditional human day payment method. Use the points of the story point using Fibonacci numbers 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 30. Fibonacci numbers are nothing but uh, the first Fibonacci number is 1, second is 2. The third number will be sum of the previous two numbers. Is if you want to know the fourth Fibonacci number, then you need to add the previous two Fibonacci numbers. The fourth will be 5, which is sum of 2 and 3. If you want to know the seventh Fibonacci number, then you need to add the previous two Fibonacci numbers 13, 13, and 8. 13 plus 8 is 21. It is recommended to use Fibonacci numbers for story points. And Scrum with Jira software. Scrum is one of the most popular framework for implementing Agile. With Scrum, the product is built in a series of fixed iterations called sprint that give teams a framework for shipping on a regular cadence. Step-by-step instruction how to drive a Scrum project, create a Scrum project, create user stories or tasks in the backlog, create a sprint, hold the sprint planning team, hold the sprint in Jira, hold the daily stand-up meetings, view the burn-down chart, view the sprint report, hold the sprint review meeting, hold the sprint retrospective meeting, complete the sprint in Jira, repeat step 2. These are the steps which you need to follow if you are working in Scrum with Jira software. First is you will be creating the project. You will be dividing the tasks into user stories and add them into the backlog. You will be creating the sprints based on the user stories. You will hold a initial sprint planning meeting so that you know the timelines, how much the time, how long will the sprint will be taking. Then you will be starting the Jira sprint in Jira. Then you will be holding daily stand-up meetings. You will be creating the burn-down chart so that you have the you know what is the actual guideline and what is the actual remaining work. View the sprint report, hold the sprint review meeting, hold the sprint retrospective meeting, complete the sprint, repeat from steps two. You will, after completing the 11th step, you will start again. Agile project management, best agile practices for teams. Some best practices for teams for agile project management are iterative development, daily stand-up, identifying the value, using the project management tools, setting communication guidelines, visualizing the workflow, limiting the work in progress, reducing waste, continuous and constructive feedback, continuous improvement, test-driven development, small releases, focusing on flow, use burnouts, burn down charts for sprints, creating project backlogs and project vision together. Project vision together. These are some best practices for teams for using Agile project management. And here is a project planning template. The report which you guys have to create should look something like this. You state the sprint, function of the sprint, user story number, the task you have to complete, and story points and priority. Okay, so that is it for uh, project phase 3 and phase 4. So we have discussed about uh, phase 3 and phase 4, which are project design phase and project planning phase. In project design phase, we have talked about problem solution phase, how which is where you will be defining what is the problem which you are trying to solve. In the proposed solution, you will be talking about the solution you have come up with to solve the problem. In solution architecture, you would be providing a simple architecture for your solution. Project planning phase is the agile methodologies which you will be using, sprints and user choice, and how you will be implementing it in your project, how you will be dividing your tasks. I hope you guys have understood about phase 3 and phase 4. If you want me to repeat any step or anything, please let me know. Um, Riti, when we get problem statement for project, I think once you guys have we have given you the credentials for smart interns, right? Not everyone has yet received the credentials. I think you will be assigned your projects or you will be told to select. I'm not sure about this. Okay, I hope everyone has understood phase 3 and phase 4. Phase 3 is designing the plan. Phase 3 is all about project design, and phase 4 is all about project planning. In phase 3, you will be identifying your project and understanding your project. What is the problem you are going to deal with? What is the task you have to do? You will be identifying your project problem. You will be defining your problem statement. Then you will define a proposed solution. You will based on Sarah. I don't know who have told you to not attend the sessions. I think uh, it is required to attend the sessions, and I will be sharing the attendance link, attendance form link. You guys all will take a 5 minutes quick break. I want all of you guys to fill the form. Um, I hope everyone is done with admins. Um, Now we will be moving to the next phase. Till now we have talked about phase 3 and phase 4. Now we will be moving to the 5 and phase 6. In phase 3 and phase 4, we have talked about project design phase and project planning phase. In project design phase, you will be defining the problem. You will be defining the solution for the problem. And you will be defining the solution matrices for your problem. In project planning phase, you will be using different types of agile methodologies for dividing the project or task you are going to do into multiple sprints and life cycles, and divide them and work and complete the project. Okay, now we are going to talk about phase 5 and 6. In phase 5 and 6, we will be talking about coding and solutioning, performance testing, and GitHub. What is coding and solution? Coding and solution refers to process of creating a solution to a problem or task using programming languages and tools. This involves writing code, testing, and debugging, and optimizing the solution for performance efficiency. This basically means you are going to solve a problem using programming language, using coding in a most efficient possible way. uh, by testing and debugging and optimizing the code, you will be providing you will be providing an efficient solution. Benefits and importance of code quality. You should always have the quality of code should always be good. It should be enhanced efficiently, low risk, easy to maintain, cost effective. Enhanced efficiency. It means identifying bugs and fixing them enhances the efficiency. Low risk. Code quality reduces future risk and failures. Easy maintenance. The coder can easily navigate the code to identify and fix bugs. Cost effective. Coding standards minimizes the deployment costs. Benefits and importance of code quality or enhanced efficiency. Uh, you should uh, you should write the code which is bug free, which is low risk, which is easy to maintain and cost effective. To implement coding standards in software engineering. These are 4 steps to implement coding standards in software engineering. The 4 steps are readability, prioritizing, reviewing, linter. Readability basically means use simple codes that are easily understandable. You should not be using some complex variable names and complex function names. You should always use readable code. Advertising, understand what code does and how it functions. You should always know what the code you are working on, what is the function, what is the output of the code. You should understand why you are writing it. Reviewing. Reviewing the code maintains the quality of the code, or you should always review your code. Linter. Linter. It prevents further issue by reading the code. Do's and don'ts of coding standards in software engineering. Always add comments. It helps in understanding the code. Avoid comments when it is unnecessary. Use indentation uh, so that it is readable. Follow a clear, consistent style of indentation. If you are using two spaces or tab, you should always continue using the same thing. You should not be mix matching things whenever you want to. If you are following a structure of indentation, you should follow it thoroughly. Don't repeat. Don't repeat while coding. Write codes to avoid repetition. Coding is basically creating functions and objects and things which are reusable. There should not be repetition. Grouping code. Group the task in several code blocks or functions. You should always group similar tasks or similar kind of functions in a group. Avoid nesting. Avoid deep nesting to disable the code easily. You should not be nesting code inside other code. It might get confusing for the for others to understand the code. So some do's and don'ts are uh, have comments, but avoid unnecessary comments. Use indentation, consistent and clear, clear and consistent style of indentation, and don't repeat the code the code you are writing should not have repetitions. Group the code you're coding. Have similar kind of functions at a place. Avoid nesting. Avoid nesting your code inside some other code, and it might create confusion it might not be readable. Important parameters of code: number of functional features, code efficiency, utilization of algorithms, coding layout, self-explanation and reusability, debugging and traceability, exception handling. Some important parameters of coding are the number of features the number of functional features you are going to code, and how efficient the code is. Utilization of algorithms. Code layout should always be self-explainable and reusable. Debugging and tracing. You should always use exception handling for debugging. Always have some debugging statements for the errors which might occur. Performance testing. Performance testing is non-functional software testing technique that determines how the stability, speed, and scalability and responsible of an application is hold up under a given workload. It keeps a key step in ensuring software quality, but unfortunately is often seen as an afterthought in isolation. And to begin, one functional testing is completed, and in most cases, after the code is ready to release. You should always keep testing your performance of your code, which is developed. We should not ignore the performance testing. Need for performance testing to determine whether the application satisfies performance requirements. For instance, the system should handle up to 100,000 concurrent users. Uh, Before deploying your product, you should test whether your product is able to handle 1,000 concurrent users. To locate computing bottlenecks while in application. To establish whether the performance level claimed by software vendor are indeed true. Compare two or more systems and identify that one that performs best. To measure stability under peak traffic events. Identify the test environment and tools. How to do performance testing. Uh, Identify the test environment. Determine the performance criteria. Plan and design. Configure test environment. Implement test design. Test execution. Analyze, adjust, and retest. You should first identify the test environment. You should define the criteria of performance. You should know how to determine whether the functionalities of the product or service. You should understand the criteria. You should determine the criteria for the performance. Then plan and design the testing. Configure the testing environment. You should make all the settings required for the testing. Implement test design. Test execution. And analyze, adjust, and retest. We should analyze the results of our test, adjust the code according to the analysis, and adjust the and retest. This should repeat so that the product is working well and good. Okay, I think performance testing in the GitHub. Okay, in phase 5 and 6, we have talked about coding and solution performance testing. We talked about benefits and importance of code quality. How to implement coding standards in software engineering. Do's and don'ts in software engineering. important parameters of code. And we have talked about performance testing. Need for performance testing, how to do performance testing. So that's it about phase 3 and phase 5 and 6. In today's class, we have talked about phase 3, 4, 5, 6. In phase 3, we have talked about uh, design phase, the project design phase. And phase 4 is project planning phase. So if you guys have any doubts or queries, you can ask me in the chat regarding phase 3 and phase 4, phase 5 and 6. I hope everyone is done with the attendance rate. And Vivek Singh, the operation team is working on it. No need to panic or anything. You will be getting your credentials. I cannot give you an exact date or anything like that, but you will be receiving your credentials. It is a process to leave this internship. Adi, sorry to hear this from you. Why do you, what is this question? What kind of question is this? Can ask me question related to phase 3 and 4 or 5 and 6. So, okay, guys, if you have any doubts regarding phase 3 and 4 or 5 and 6, can ask me. I'll try to repeat things. If you have not understood anything, any part of it. Uh, Vishnuvardhan, you will be receiving your credentials. No need to worry. Our presenting is working on it. If you have any other doubts or queries, please let me know in the chat. I hope everyone has understood the topics which I have discussed in today's session. We have gone through phase 3 and 4 and phase 5 and 6. If you have any doubts related to them, please let me know in the chat. Vivek Singh, when you are done with your project, you are going to upload the GitHub link into the. Uh, you have to first of all you have to upload all your files related to your project in the GitHub. Then you will be uploading your GitHub link into the Smart Incomes application. This will be told to you guys in the coming sessions, I think. Uh, the main thing to remember is you have to upload all your project folders, all the project, your complete project folder in the GitHub once you're done with the project. Then you will be sharing your GitHub link with us through Smart Interns application, which will be told to you guys in the later on sessions. Yeah, yeah, Patil, I have told you guys, right? You will be receiving your credentials. No need to worry. It might take some time, but you guys will definitely for sure receive Smart Entrance credentials. If you guys have any other doubts or queries, please drop them in the chat. We will be ending the session in few more minutes. you can start working on your projects once we have sent your projects, right? I think still you guys have not yet received the credentials of Smart Interns. Uh, you will also be assigned the projects. I think you will be assigned, or you should be selecting the project you want to do. I'm not sure about it, but you will be told in the upcoming sessions. Once you selected or you have been assigned the project, you can start working on the project. Praveen, I understand that a lot of them have not yet received the credentials. It is a work in progress. You will be receiving your credentials. Okay, guys. Thank you for attending the session. I hope you have a good day. Okay, guys. Bye.